Today I'm going to turn this vase. It's 12.5 inches tall and 5.5 inch diameter at the top here. I left a little bit of the bark on. There were a couple issues when you're turning something like this, and I'll show you how I did it. Let's go ahead and get started. The wood shop is sponsored by Robust Lathe, Easy Wood Tools, and Chefware Kits. I'm starting out with about a 14.5 inch by 6 inch piece of elm, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And I'm just going to use the roughing gouge to knock the majority of the corners off and then switch to the square carbide cutter to true it up. Now that I have the outside shaped and a tenon on it, I put it in the chuck, set up the steady rest, and I'm going to use an 1.5 inch Forstner bit to drill a depth hole down in it. I'm using Lyle Jamison's hollowing rig for this. It has a laser on it, but I really didn't use it that much because of the bark enclosure. I can't make the wall thickness very thin. It's maybe 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. So I just kind of used the laser as a guide more than anything. I started hollowing it out and measured it on the inside of the bark. And once I got close to that, I set the laser up for that, and then went ahead and made the wall thickness on the whole piece the same, so it didn't feel awkward when you picked it up that the bottom was lighter than the top or something, so it's even all the way down. I had a little design change. When I was hollowing it out with the Forstner bit, my long extension, I couldn't get it to grip onto the bit tight enough, and I had to leave it about 3 inches short from the bottom. So when I was hollowing it out, it was taking quite a while, and I had the bright idea of just put my giant scraper down there and clean the rest of it out. Well, it caught and broke the lip. So I had to open up the top of it a little bit, and that actually made it easier because I could just run the quill all the way down and set the depth with the Forstner bit without the extension. The problem was I needed it to be small for the little hole I put in there, but it worked out, and then I could go back to hollowing with the hollowing rig. So I'm going to turn a little walnut cap for the top of it. It worked out nice. I think it looks good. After I glued in the plug, I ran a 3/4 inch Forstner bit down it. I did it when I was on the live hangout, so I didn't get a chance to film it, but that's all I did. So I'm going to use the curved hollowing tool here and just clean up around the collar on the inside there, and then I'll sand the whole thing. And again, I'm sanding this one with beeswax and orange oil, the stuff I got at the home stores, and it worked really nice. And then on the bark part, I just soaked that down with mineral oil and then wiped it all off, just so it darkened it up a little bit. This was something new. I've never tried to turn one and left the bark enclosure on it. I've done a lot of hollow forms where I cut into this part so you could see inside of it, but I've never tried to leave one. Like I said, the wall thickness is probably right about 3/4 all the way down, except for this area here, where down in some of those spots it's less than 1/4 inch thick. But I really enjoyed making it, and even with the little design change, I think the walnut adds a nice touch. I'm actually doing something new too. These things are stacking up around here, so I'm going to start putting most of my project up on eBay. I'll put them up Friday morning after the video comes out, and they'll be up for 3 days, so the auction should be over by Monday. But if you're interested in this one right here, I will put the link down below in the description. If this is your first time here, I have a new project video every Friday. I hope to see you there, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Take care.